What's going on, everyone? It's me, ya boy, Alex the Rambler Rooney here. Today we're going to be playing through Hearts of Iron 4, but I'm going to do something that I've never done before. It's not very original. As you can see, I currently have almost 1,700 hours. Oh my god. Whoa, that's way too many for a video game. I know some of you might be like, well, I've got 5,000 hours. I don't... go out and get some sunshine. Yes, I have almost 1,700 hours, and I've always been very lucky to have always played with DLC and mods. I'm also very lucky that I usually get sent every downloadable bit of content either for free or ahead of time. But today, I'm going to play the game without any downloadable content and just see what it would be like after just 4 years of patches and no DLC. I don't know how interesting this is going to be, but of course, please do comment, like, and subscribe. Whoa, please do. Yeah, please. Alright, so let's disable everything. So we've disabled Together for Victory, Death or Dishonor, Waking the Tiger, Man the Guns, and La Resistance. The 1, 2, 3. There's only been 5 main expansions. And then we have the content packs, all of the music packs, and all of the unit packs too. Oh no, I'm going to miss out on that big shafted tank. Let's see how this will go. Oh, I should also thank you for the amazing response to that End of an Era video I uploaded. I wasn't really expecting over 100,000 of you to click on that. That's like 3 times the amount of people that I thought would click on it. Very humbling that so many of you have taken an interest in it. It was more just about me, myself, and I than any kind of main content changes in the channel. Apart from the fact that I'm only going to make videos when I actually want to. I'm going to hunker down and focus on strategy. There'll still be Hearts of Iron videos, as you've seen. It will be as and when I choose to. I don't want to kind of force myself to play something that I'm not enjoying. I think a lot of people probably only watched a couple of minutes of that. In fact, I know a lot of you did, because I looked at the analytics for that. And I think people assumed that I was quitting Hearts of Iron or quitting YouTube, and then I've released a couple of videos since that video on Crusader Kings, and people were surprised that I was uploading, so I don't know what to tell you. I'm still here. It was more talking about my mental health and my managing my various flaws and working on myself and getting over certain addictions and stuff. Anyway, so here we go. Oh my god, it's so weird not seeing any of this. All of the trees, all of the nations that no longer have focus trees are the only ones that do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's just these 7. Oh, Canada's a different cut. Is Canada different? Let's just look around. Oh, they've got the basic tree. Oh, you can still zoom in and out. They've kept that. That was a patch. That was a patch. Because I don't know what are in the patches and what's in the DLC. You'd think I would know, but I don't. Oh, the UK tree is kind of poop. The German tree. There isn't even a changed German tree anymore. Really? Does Poland still have its? No. Of course Turkey doesn't. Turkey doesn't have anything. I mean, Italy's exactly the same. And I think the Soviets is exactly the same. It might have been changed a bit. No, I don't think it has. Okay, so we have stability and we have war support. So those are features that have remained. Still have decisions. Okay. All of the UI is pretty much exactly the same. Oh, China doesn't have a tree. Japan's still looks alright. But still, everything is so basic. Because you have to tell me in the comments, please, if you own the DLCs or if you just play the base game. I don't know what percentage of people own what or play what with this. Let's do a Germany game. Hilter has been all covered up. Great, because my last Hearts of Iron video was demonetized, despite my editor doing a fantastic job at putting my face where the swastikas were. Let's have AI historical focuses off, just to see what's going to happen. There is custom game rules, so that has remained in the various patches. Great. Doomsday series. I disabled these mods. Okay, I was going to make a video on the Doomsday mods, so let me know if you want that too. Okay, so all of the spy stuff has all gone. No spies. We have to do the MIFO bills manually? I think, or have they changed that in a patch? All the naval stuff has gone too. Or am I just so used to mods now? No, because they're all different bits and bobs that you had to build. So was the Navy stuff all in a patch? No, some of it's still separate. We still have fuel. Fine. Fine. Fuel still works. I think all of this will all just play as normal. So I guess the basis of this video is that I'm going to see if it's still fun to play Hearts of Iron, even if you only have the base game, because I know a lot of people probably only do. But do they still, do the AI, would they still have spies and stuff? I don't think they would do. Ooh, this looks all very different. Oh, that's right. I'm so used to having all of the intrigue menus and stuff now. Not intrigue, but you know what I mean. It's so weird just to see all of the data straight away. Oh, I prefer that. I'm a simple guy, what can I say? That's not what you want when you're playing the base game. Okay, I need to start this again. I swear I turned those mods off. Okay, no mods, no DLC. Let's go. So you can't even enter into a German civil war. I mean, you could if you did it the old way, but really, is there much point? It's going to be weird. It'll be kind of almost like watching a video from the year 2016, and you don't have to worry about having operatives or any of that, because this is what you'd be playing if you just bought it without any DLC. Oh, they still kept this in. Okay, so all of the front lines and the field marshals and stuff, it's still with the modern way. Just like no one has focus trees. Absolutely no one. There's no flexibility for anything. Ah! Okay. Oh, Spain is going to be boring as heck. Wait, who is that? I don't know who that is. At least all of the optimizations to the engine, if there were any, are still in. And I guess where lots of nations don't have focus trees, it's going to run on 5-speed even smoother than usual. All of this, it just seems so bare. So bare. Like, this isn't a criticism. Well, I guess, is it? I guess this is almost a criticism. Because like this is how the game would have been released, except it's had 4 years of patches. And I know iSorrow Productions did upload a video without any patches or DLC. And I think the game is pretty broken. Well, not broken, but 4 years ago it wasn't released in the best of states. Like they had to invest a lot of time. Except Crusader Kings 3, I've been finding really, really solid. Like I've been really enjoying my time with Crusader Kings 3. It's been almost like a breath of fresh air. And I'm just really, really having a good time with it. Especially incest. So I may have to jump on the incest bandwagon and also have my own video. Do I have to do anything with this now? Because before you had to remember to click on it. But I think this time it just rolls over, so you don't get screwed that way. Which maketh sense. Oh, and if you're thinking, Alex, I don't know how to play the game very well. Well, this would be my Germany strat. Well, you're going to see what I'm going to be doing. And I'll try and describe why I'm doing it. So, this is how I've played the game for the past 4 years. Well, I've obviously got better since I started. Although some of you probably still disagree. In which case... so, right. As Germany, I'm focusing on industry. You should do this with most nations. I'm just focusing on building civilian factories for a couple of years. And I'm also getting, as you can see, the industrial focuses before I do anything else. You really want a nice base of civilian factories before you start building anything else. That's what I do anyway. The meta might have changed since years. I'm actually going to get rid of the tactical bombers. We've got like 400 of them. I'm not going to focus on tactical bombers. For aerial superiority, you really need loads of fighters. So although these are only fighter ones, they're going to be fine. Light tanks, I never focus on light tanks. That's just me personally. I always, once I've researched radio, go for signal companies. It gives your units 20% initiative. So that means it can reinforce quicker into battle and gets its planning done, which is just a nice chunk. Wow, it's so weird not having all the customizations for the ships. Like all the different various parts you can build for them. So although I think that the game still operates... No, it doesn't. You've only got these 7... Are there more? I'm getting so confused now. So if I just did the old strike force, do they just operate as they used to? In which case I'm always leaving man the guns off. No, okay, so I need to split these into various groups. but they're still under Donetsk, so they can occupy more region. I've never realised that. So when I don't have tons of menus and other things to navigate, I can actually figure out how mechanics are meant to work just through the patches, and I don't need the confusing DLC. This is revolutionary. Okay, everyone. New meta. Don't buy the DLC. No, actually. Only if you use my affiliate links. Of course, this isn't the way you do a navy. Just so you know. When it comes to infantry divisions, like you could have 7 units of infantry and 2 artillery. I generally just go for the bog standard 20 combat width and have a fair number of support companies. I will then also focus on tanks. So my infantry are just for beating the AI generally, and then my tanks just completely annihilate them. If I have a combination of aerial superiority, tanks, and infantry to hold the line, you won't really lose. I mean, it can still happen. See, I always found the navies used to be rather confusing, but now now it's all making sense. Okay, I mean, I guess I could focus on. Okay, so you got Franco. Where the feck's Diaz? Surely there's a portrait for Diaz. When I turned everything off, I probably should have verified my files, because that's not normal, is it? But I'm going to see if they can actually. Do they need my help? Can I not send air volunteers anymore? I'm just going to send them 5,000 guns. If you're trying to farm army XP, then you should send volunteers. I sometimes do. Again, the optimal strategy would be to send tanks down here just to mop them up pretty easily. I haven't done that, but we should be able to just push the Spanish infantry, I would imagine. Secure the north. Yeah, yeah, we're going to. Yeah. Then why couldn't I send air volunteers? Sending air volunteers is available. Are you sure about that? Oh, I need air wings. Oh, I'm such a silly sausage. Huh? Guess I can't. Alright. Weird. Okay, as we're seeing here, a lot of the place up north is all handled. I don't know why we're taking attrition, so let's just move out of there. I imagine there's no supply. There is supply. Our units are just taking... Okay. I'm just going to try and do a bit of an encirclement, and then the AI will mop up, I would imagine. But this is already done. This is already pretty much won. You do want to start researching doctrines. That's something I've just forgotten to do. I'm good like that. Oh, yeah. Okay, this Spanish Civil War was a peace. Okay. Are there even the naval treaties and stuff? No, there's nothing like that. That's all been removed. Wow. I never realised how much content was behind DLC. Which I know is... probably a bad thing to realise, but again, I've always been very lucky to just been able to have the DLC. But the naval rework, for the most part, still in, which is good. Actually, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing the focus trees optimally at all. I'm actually really falling behind. Boom, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I should probably start pumping out some divisions now. And once I get to 38, I'm going to switch my production over to some synthetic refineries, and then some military factories. But the rate that we're building civilian factories is really quite nice. Taking on the AI with a chonky Germany shouldn't be any issue. He says before it all probably goes wrong. Great, Soviet Union have done the treaty, then we can get the medium tank a little bit early. I should have already had them by now. That was a big mistake. I'm just going to do the Anschluss now too, just start to gobble some territory. It's not going to mean much. Well, we get an extra 12 civilian factories, so it's worth it. Again, Austria could build up even more, but I just want to gobble, gobble, gobble. Special unit cap still in. I've never liked the cap. I mean, it made sense because people were just spamming out 100 units of paratroopers, which would technically break the game, I guess, but still a bit annoying. Very easy to go down to Danzig or war now as soon as you get the manpower. Oot. Armoured spearhead, because I will be spearheading with my big tanker loonies. They've kept a lot of the quality of life changes in, which is great. So you can still do the set it to 5 or 10 now. So yeah, they've kept a lot of the quality of life, which I applaud them for. I could just demand the Sudetenland. What are they going to do? Nothing! Okay, so for my mediums, I usually, if I'm just starting off, I'll go for 20 combat width. So I'll just go 5 medium tanks and then 5 motorized. That's usually okay to beat the AI. Then get some signal companies in, of course. I obviously don't have that amount at the moment, but we will do. Boom, Sudetenland, gobble gobble. Fate of Czechoslovakia, we're just gonna gobble that too. I'm just gobbling at this stage. Gotta get that gobble on, gobble, gob, gob, gob. Poland, when we invade pretty soon, won't stand a chance. Oh, I did forget some garrison troops. For those, I would usually just get the artillery out. Just some crappy 10-width cavalry, or crappy 10-width infantry. Doesn't really matter. I always have Rommel leading my tanks, even if they're not the most optimal. I just choose Rommel. Oh, air bases. I forgot to build some air bases for when we invade France. So let's just get onto that. 69 military factories. Giggity. We'll need more refineries, so I'm just going to go ham on refineries for now. Overall, I'm pretty happy. This is, again, like, if you're an self-proclaimed expert at Hearts of Iron 4, these aren't optimal strategies. They might work for you if you're just getting used to the game. Okay, we'll set up Slovakia as a puppet state. Got time for like 1 or 2 more focuses, I guess, so I'll do my synthetic rubber, and then I'll just go straight. Ooh, maybe Molotov rib and drop. Molly rib. So weird. I'm just not used to this screen anymore. But we can keep an eye on what kind of air force each nation has. Well, that's not right, because I don't think I've got them deployed. But yes, I have more than that. That's the amount of deployed aircraft that they have. Can you still pair air wings to divisions, or was that DLC? That wouldn't have been DLC, right? Yes. No, you can still do that. Okay. Good. Right. Reassert Eastern claims, then the old Danzigo or war. Without DLC, it certainly does make the experience a lot more streamlined, but does that make it any less of a game? Like, if you bought this at full price now... What? Yeah, if you bought this at full price now, without the DLC, I don't think I could recommend it. Like, if it released now, and you could buy it all with all the DLC for like 30 quid, then yeah. Oh, Poland's not even going to survive. They've got all their troops on my border. The idiots. This has changed history because the Allies haven't guaranteed Poland. Probably because the Empire of Japan hasn't declared war on China. Oh, the world tension wasn't high enough. Might as well do a round Maginot then, if the Allies aren't going to get involved. And this is without an air force. I'm just blasting them. So then I started blasting. Oh, the Soviet Union. What an asshole. So where they've puppeted them, I won't get the territory, will I? What? I've been cucked. Very well. I'll be coming for you. Oh, they did honour the pact. Great. Thank you. For a minute there, I didn't think they were going to. Okay. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-da! So with aerial superiority, this should just be a case of absolutely ruffle stomping. That was just battle planning too. I rarely, if ever, micro if I don't need to. Belgium is... Okay. Goodbye, Belgium. Oh, we're contested for aerial superiority. And am I being bombed? Yes, I am. But as soon as we get aerial superiority, it will all be fine. There we go. Yeah, everything's green again. Is France in the Allies yet? No, they're not. I imagine they'll join. There we go. Oh, they have still split the air differently compared to what it used to be, I believe. Split the old Air Force Arunis, get aerial superiority. They can't do anything about it. Oh, they're placing more fighters down, but it's not going to make too much of a difference. And this is just with 20 combat width with aerial superiority. You can see some tiles we are losing, and I only have 6 units of tanks. Actually, they're not even set to aggressive. Let's set everyone to aggressive, shall we? We'll just force our way through. I imagine if I called in Italy, they would help, but really, they're not worth calling in at the moment. They will let me down. I didn't call in Italy, but I think my other allies did anyway. Okay. Oh no, they're not letting me down. Thank you. They hadn't even capitulated. Yeah. They still have divisions around. Oh, just kidding. No, they've all gone. Then we have to do sometimes the somewhat tricky part of invading the nice old UK. And I'll try and invade Kent. I think naval invasions will work exactly as they have previously done. Like, not much is going to change here. Overall, the game works fine, but there will be very limited replayability, I think. Oh, Vichy France got all of their army. Oh, 113 divisions. Damn, everything just switched. I think because they switched before they technically capitulated, they got all of Africa too. Charles de Gaulle has 1 division. Okay, so the way I usually invade the UK is I do a mixture of naval invasions and paradrops. I also have my Air Force with aerial superiority that will help our navy in engagements, because my navy, as Germany, is naturally quite weak. Naval invasion support for a second. Oh, and we're already in Dover. Okay. Well, they weren't protecting their border. Who knows where they've gone off to? But that's when you strike. Really, send them over. There we go. Aerial superiority in the UK. We will run out of fuel in a matter of days. I think so far, without the AI, without all the AI having all of their various focus trees, it just makes it a lot easier. Everyone has basic focus trees, so they're not necessarily getting all of the buffs or debuffs that they would have got. And having the fuel mechanic still in is definitely needed, I think, to make sure you don't just ruffle stomp anyone. Boom! I'm now incredibly powerful in January 1940. And I've got a little bit of what is now Canada. Alright, how many aircraft does he have? It's got a okay. My industry is marginally better, not by a huge amount. His manpower's large. Just not having all of the espionage stuff now, it just does make it really quite simple to see what you're up against. I don't think I can lose this. Just gonna let my allies do the job against Yugoslavia. I've got my eye on the bigger prize. This bad boy. Soviets have a lot of divisions. They certainly outnumber me in terms of manpower, I think, deployed manpower. But that might mean they think they have the advantage and they can attack me. And in which case, they are sorely mistaken. So I turned my infantry into just 40 combat width org walls. Just a lot of manpower, really. And then the tanks are just going to go flonk in, hopefully. Who doesn't love a good flonk? Getting loads of refineries is really, really nice. So if you've got to this point in the video, which I don't know if all of you would have done, and you're thinking to yourself, why is he just doing a regular bog standard game? Well, there's not really much else to do. I guess you could go down here, and I don't even know if you can form nations without the... No, I don't think you can form nations either. The base game without any DLC is fine. It works, and it's had loads of updates to improve on the experience that you would have got from the base game years and years ago. Does that mean, like, it's going to be a super exciting experience for all of you? Probably not. It's definitely better with the DLCs. That's for sure. Without any of the DLCs, it just feels empty now. Really empty. Like, it feels like it's like a blank canvas that needs some love, care, and attention. That's not to say it's like it's not a bad experience. It's just, if you've done this a couple of times, it's going to get boring. Like, yes, in theory, you could form an alliance with the USSR, but is anyone going to bother? I don't know. The USA is doing War Plan Black, eh? War Plan Red. So it looks like the USA is justified. Oh, the Soviet Union is justified against us. Fine, yes. Use it. Okay, we might as well go for it. Did that work? There we go. Oh, wow. Okay, the UK's all over the naval invasions. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to puncture their main line, which is going to be tricky with the amount of divisions they have. They just have like an org wall. Oh well, we'll wear them down over time. Hey, my encirclement worked. I literally just right-clicked on my tanks and sent them down here. It went alright. They've certainly reworked the Soviet Union since the start, since like 2016, because they definitely are a tougher nut to crack now. It's just because they have just a bazillion amount of divisions. And they're not doing their usual thing of cycle charging. Oh, yeah, man. Want to join me war? They were called in, I think. Yes, there we go. Hey, that's just made the game a lot easier. Go forth, Manchukuo. So that will take some divisions away from this. Yep, they're sending loads of divisions away. And then... boom. Ah. Lovely. Oh, I would also preface this. If you're wanting to try and do this optimally, do not do what I'm doing and just keep trying to do your full frontal charges. It's not wise. You shouldn't do it. That's Rambler's top tip. Like, I'm not trying to do this optimally. Now I'm just trying to get to a point where I can comfortably, you know, wrap up the video, but I feel like I can't do that unless the Soviets are dead. Another nice poquito up here. But despite what they're having to endure, I'd say the Soviet Union is still a fairly tough nut to crack. Like, the Allies were a piece of pish compared to this. Every encirclement is a positive for me. Looks like we're breaking through across most of the line now. They're collapsing. Yes, precious. One last push to Stalingrad. Yeah, I remember. It was probably like two and a half years ago. The Soviet Union would just collapse at the first sign of war. But now they actually seem like they're capable of holding at least. How many divisions do they still have? That's still quite a number, and despite me taking a ton of factories, they've still got over 100 military factories. But it's over. Like, the Soviet Union will fall. So I think that's where I'll end it for this. I'm going to enable the DLC again. Only having, what, 7 or 8 nations with focus trees, like, and even them, now most of those have been changed to enhance them from what they were at the first, like, you know, the 2016 release. The game has changed so much, and the DLC adds a lot more flavour. So if you're looking for the best experience, it's with the expansions. Honestly, that isn't like a sales pitch. You know, buy them when they're on sale. Like, if you want to get them. Without it, it's still fine, but I couldn't see myself playing this more than 2 or 3 times before I'm like, had enough now. And I think that's a fair critique, because we are playing essentially a game that's 4 years old with patches, without any additional content. Still an enjoyable experience, but I do like all of the alt history stuff that they've added now. And of course there are mods. So yeah, if you've enjoyed this kind of insightful look, please do comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll be back very soon. Toodaloo. Many thanks to Onion Duck, Seth Cutter Sturvik, Maximilian Foreman, Wyatt Green, Zachariah Mosby, Tad House, Cobby Was Taken, Matt Zoov, Vash, Warren P. George, Dave DY the Don, Valhalla Halls, Ya Boy, Ryan Cock, Jack Troku, Jiggly Crotch, Use Beef, Sean Young, and Logan Whaley for being ridiculous random supporters on Patreon, and many thanks to all the patrons too!